Right now, let's not waste any more time. People are here to hear reviews, and we are here to bring them to you. Let's go ahead and start out with our first review, The Hateful Eight.
Oh, dang.
I put up what I started to say, the Sinister Six. What is that shit? The Ridiculous Six. Kind of sensed on his own anyway.
Yeah.
No, I didn't watch that shit yet. I tried, man. I got 10 minutes into it.
That shit is torture.
I couldn't do it, man.
Yeah, me either. I couldn't finish that shit.
I already knew where that shit was going.
Yeah, nowhere good.
That train started to like engine up, and I said, let me off this motherfucker.
Man, I've heard everybody say that, but I heard Adam Sandler interviewed, and he seemed so proud of it and happy to be working with his friends, and it made me go like, well, maybe I should just give it a chance.
Do that shit if you want to.
Yeah, hey, man, that shit. Hey, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, right.
All right, people. Let's get down to the real movie right here, The Hateful Eight. A lot of talk has been about this movie. You know, it's Quentin Tarantino's film, so that's a big thing right there. And he said, you know what, I'm not no average filmmaker. I'm keeping this shit old school. Filmed on glorious 70 millimeter. A lot of people have been saying, at least those who read the script, this goes back to old school Tarantino too. Imagine Reservoir Dogs in the West. Now, this is in Wyoming, post-Civil War, and we got these two bounty hunters. They find themselves heading for the same destination, the town of Red Rock. And with one of them taking a woman in for her hanging, in the other, he has bodies of his own from his own bounty. Neither of these dudes trust each other, but they do remain respectful of each other. However, when this blizzard forces them at a stage stop and they find themselves in a room full of other people, they soon learn that they're not the only bad people out there. These guys, these other six, they're a lot more shady than these two dudes that we see. I talk shit about Quentin Tarantino, I know. I don't even say I'm talking shit. I would say that I'm being just fair. You know, I ain't sitting up here being a fanboy, but I'm not hating on him either. There's certain things that Quentin Tarantino does that I give him, as much as I might criticize him on other things, I give him crazy respect for what he does right. There's a rule out there with a lot of writers, especially writers who do screenplays and write for film. They say, show.
Yeah,
don't tell. Yeah. Show it all.
Right.
Don't have these people talking all day long. But Quentin Tarantino is a master at dialogue. Quentin Tarantino can write dialogue that makes the fucking movie. While these people are talking, they are illustrating the film as they go along. As these characters are talking, they are pretty much setting up their own character development. Quentin Tarantino is almost a genius at this shit. Some people say, fuck it, man, just tell him he's a genius. Because he's one of the few people out there that can make a movie with nothing but dialogue. Right. Some people say you can just put two dudes in a chair in a room and have Quentin Tarantino make the dialogue, and that should be a movie right there.
He should do that.
Yeah.
Well, he should. But when you start out with Kurt Russell and Samuel Jackson, it's like watching two old grumpy assholes talk to each other. They don't like each other.
Yeah.
They
respect each other.
They respect each other, and they don't, they ain't trying to be polite. In fact, they might even hate each other.
Yeah.
But they got so much experience. You know how old people just got to talk to each other because ain't nobody else listening to them, and they got so much experience. That's what these two dudes are like. And the movie opens up with them having to ride the same stagecoach together. And you can feel underneath, no matter how much they smile, like, yeah, if these two, if just one of them say the wrong thing, violence can erupt at any moment.
That little lady, why they call him the hangman. When the handbill says dead or alive, the rest of us shoot you in the back up on top of a perch somewhere and bring you in dead over saddle. But when John Roof, the hangman, catches you, you don't dive no bullet in the back. When the hangman catches you, you hang.
Russell, like, you're damn right, nigga. We'll talk about that. Somebody said Corey's gonna come in and talk about how much they say nigga in this movie. You damn right. Have to.
But ironically enough, Kurt Russell is the only one who doesn't say it.
He says it a couple times, but
really he's the only when he absolutely has to. There's only one time where like Samuel Jackson pushes him and Kurt Russell like, damn, nigga, please. Nigga made me say it. I didn't want to do it. I'm telling you, it's a good thing that this dialogue is so brilliant because some of these characters are straight up cartoons.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so is this where we talk about Tim Roth? Where I was just so like, what movie are you in?
Old British vibe right here?
Yeah.
I mean, man, look, I'm telling you, I'm not saying I don't like these characters, but they are straight up cartoons, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Roth in this. Tim Roth is a stereotype of a nice British gentleman amongst these American barbarians.
Yeah.
If the relatives and the loved ones of the person you murdered were outside that door right now, and after busting down that door, they drug you out into the snow and hung you up by the neck, that would be frontier justice.
Haram! By Jove.
On the bright side, I think we found our Commander McBragg.
Yeah, man. By Jove. I'm surprised like a cup of tea didn't drop from his mustache.
Waiting on the monocle to come
Yeah, the
out.
monocle just to grow on his fucking face. His mustache keeps growing to curls at the ends and
Styles
shit.
itself.
It's like the ghost of Terry Thomas has
Yeah.
just inhabited him.
Who's Terry Thomas?
You know Terry Thomas.
I don't know Terry Thomas.
If I showed you Terry Thomas, you'd be like, oh, yeah, that dude.
Tommy, who's Terry
I have
Thomas?
no fucking
I have
clue.
no fucking
Film students, the two of you.
clue.
Embarrassing.
Yeah, we don't know the fuck you're talking about, man. So, I never thought you could offend white British dudes, but I'd say poppycock to this shit.
He did everything but just literally stick his lip out.
Yeah. Stiff up in the tip period and all. You know, and even Kurt Russell's doing he's doing a John Wayne impression through the whole
is.
thing, man.
But he's done that before.
Yeah,
No, I know, but I'm just saying here, you know,
Everybody's.
I mean,
over the top,
that's so
really.
much Kurt Russell.
yeah. I mean, but it's for some reason because he was actually a cowboy in this, it stood out. I was like, wow, man, you really are trying to be John Wayne in this shit. And these characters are actually kind of fun, and the reason why I believe is because they're grounded by Samuel Jackson. This is Samuel Jackson's movie.
It's his
man.
movie. Yeah, totally.
In the film, as things start to not seem like they are, as things start to appear a little messed up, Samuel Jackson starts to play a detective here. Mm-hmm. And he's the one that starts picking up clues, but he's also, between him and, what's his name, old dude?
Kurt
Bruce
Russell.
Dern.
Bruce Dern.
Oh, Bruce
Between
Dern.
him and
Oh,
Bruce
yeah.
Dern, those two guys seem like the most real characters. And it's not only the clues that Samuel Jackson finds, but as more people start to realize there's something wrong, a lot of the things I'm talking about, the characters is covered up by great dialogue, great performances, and as people keep talking and finding these clues, it really does feel like at any moment somebody could die. I mean,
Yeah.
it just feels like something's going to happen and really makes you nervous.
What you got to say about all this?
What I got to say about John Reese Ravens? He's absolutely right. Me and one of them fellows is in cahoots. We're just waiting for everybody to go to sleep. That's what we're gonna kill you.
And she don't know when to shut her fucking mouth.
She really don't.
They beat the shit out of him.
Okay. I don't know how conflicted you were about this, because this time she would open her mouth and Kurt Russell would knock the shit out of her.
Yeah, elbow in the
and
face.
there's part of me that goes like, hey man, hitting a woman's not cool. And at the same time, I kind of enjoyed it because it was like, yeah, bitch,
is-
you need to shut the fuck
No,
up.
man.
This is
you say-
equality at its
Yeah, you say don't
She's
hit no woman.
despicable
She
as
ain't no
fuck.
fucking woman,
She's
man.
not.
Every bruise you see on her face,
She
all the
earned that
scabs
shit.
and blood and shit, because she didn't know how to shut her goddamn mouth.
Yeah.
And the shit that comes out of her mouth is foul.
Yeah,
It is.
some vile
That's
shit.
the one time that Quentin Tarantino used the word nigga effectively, because every time she said, I popped that mother, I went
Yeah.
to the screen and said, shut your fucking mouth. She's constantly like talking to Samuel Jackson. Yeah, black nigger. And it's like, man, y'all pop her again.
And then she says that, and Kurt Russell would just come from Mississippi with a punch that you didn't see coming and clock her so hard.
Oh.
You're like, Jesus.
That
no,
motherfucker-
like,
what got
I
me-
felt it. half
What
the
got
time.
me, she said, nigga. And you think, okay, he might slap her or some
Yeah.
shit. This motherfucker elbows her in the nose. I'm like,
And her
oh,
nose
shit.
swells up.
Yeah, just blood everywhere. You're like, holy shit.
Yeah, don't feel sorry for that
Oh,
shit.
don't, though.
Right now, what y'all looking at a battered wife, and y'all thinking that shit is sad. No, that shit is a monster.
I mean,
That's
he
what-
is on his way to take her to be hung, but it's weird because in between he's nice to her. Like, hey, let me get you a bowl of soup. Are you warm? You cool? All right.
It's weird the dynamic that they have.
Yeah,
Because
I mean, it's not
talk-
weird. It's cool. I mean, it's good, but yeah, it's odd.
It's a cool relationship that's written between her and Kurt Russell, because Kurt Russell was talking about how I can't wait to take this bitch to hear her neck snap. But then she'll like eat soup and drop a little bit on her chin, and he'll wipe her mouth like it's her like it's his daughter or something. He's like, you all right? You comfortable? You feel good? Good. Snap out that shit.
But it was like he didn't really enjoy being brutal to women. He was just like, I got certain rules. You violate that, hey.
He didn't consider a woman. He's
Right.
like, she's just a piece of shit like the rest of them.
I mean, she's vile, man. The first thing you see her do is blow snot out her nose and shit. I don't you feel sorry for that shit right there? Not at all.
It's good. It's really good at keeping that tension going the whole time you watch it. Even when people are being, friendly to each other, like, man, this is just bubbling, and it's just waiting for that moment when the lid pops off.
Oh yeah, and the person who does it the best, I think, is Madsen.
Michael Madsen.
Michael Madsen, because Michael Madsen, whenever if you've seen a Tarantino movie, every time Michael Madsen, he don't smile, at all. But when he does smile, that means some shit is about to happen.
He's
about to cut off an ear or set your ass on fire, and he does the same thing in this movie. He's the one that's in the corner, not even bothering anybody.
He barely
when
says
they came over
anything.
there and fucked me, I was like, man, don't do that. Don't fuck with him. And he smiles, and it's like, okay, you know what? Y'all have this shit coming. But as I said, and all of us here, it's a slow burn. And by the time the shit actually happens, that's when it gets crazy to me.
Crazy in a good way?
No, that's when it's over the top with me.
Right.
As I said, this is a sort of a detective procedural, man, and it's in a stage play.
A bottle film.
It's almost like watching Sherlock Holmes about to give the big reveal of what he found.
A locked room, that's what they call it.
And instead he pulls out a Uzi and just takes everybody out of the fucking room, man. It's fucking overboard. It's crazy.
Tarantino.
It's what Tarantino has been doing.
Yeah.
No, I knew y'all were gonna say that. I don't want to hear. I never want to hear that argument. It's just this.
Hello.
Oh, that's just that.
Hello. Don't cut me off.
No, I got to tell you. You cut me off a little while ago. No, go ahead. Just don't say. Oh, it's Tarantino.
No. If a transcript of my words would be, oh, it's Tarantino. This is what he does. Not in a good way.
Yeah.
I look negatively on this. I was going to say this is what he's been doing for the second half of his career, ever since Jackie Brown, where it's like, man, there's so many good things here, and yet he can't help but turn it into a cartoon. Of all his post-Jackie Brown movies, this is one I was enjoying the most. And I was like, hey, man, maybe he's turned that corner. He's in his 50s. Nah, that inner teenager just had to come out. And at the end, I was like, God damn it, man.
Yeah,
this
man.
was going to be the one. That was going to bring me back completely to your side. I mean, the talent, the genius is there. I could see it. But you just can't let it stand at that, can you?
No. I thought you and I were gonna have a good old tangle, man.
Fuck no.
No, man, because you were saying the exact Martin. It's almost you in my head right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Get out of my fucking head, Martin.
Don't stop me.
Wow, man, I'm thinking the same thing you are. Tarantinoisms, if there is such a word, that's what's here, man. He has to go back to that fucking grindhouse shit.
Exactly.
See, with me, I didn't find it as I liked it a little bit more than you did at the end because I expected that shit. I didn't like it, but it didn't bother me as much as it bothered you because I'm just waiting. Because like you said, the first 2 hours of the shit, I'm like, oh shit, he's back in form.
Yeah.
And then just little things kept happening in this shit. I'm like, nah, no, he hasn't. He's waiting to explode. He's waiting to blow his wad. That's what he's waiting to do. This movie split up in two because it's an intermission in the middle. I'm sure the version that we saw. And it seems like,
for me too.
Yeah, it seems like everything after that intermission, that's that other Tarantino. Everything before that intermission, that's the old Tarantino.
That's exactly what happens.
Yeah.
When that first bullet flies.
Yeah. When someone's head explodes, I'm like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what? No, it was way before that because once the first bullet goes, that's when everybody starts losing their shit. It was like for 2 hours, Quentin Tarantino sat there and was just twitching.
Right.
You know, through his own fucking dialogue.
Trying, but just couldn't do it.
I can't help it, man. You know what I mean?
Fuck it, man.
Kaboom!
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, when he was writing with Roger Avery, he was a little more self-contained.
Yeah.
You have Tarantino, who is the brilliant genius, who is a writer, man. I can't wait to see what the guy does when he writes novels because he says that's what he's going to do at some point.
Read the first half of them.
Yeah. And then that shit turns into a comic book.
Yeah.
All this violence that you going way losing your shit over, going way fucking crazy.
Yeah.
You're betraying kind of the really cool stuff you set up before.
I know.
Yeah, and when you see where it concludes, you see what he was trying to do. And I'm like, man, you could have done this a little bit better than the way that you did it.
Yeah.
You know?
And you know what? And even, like I said, even some of the characters in here, because he writes them so well. There are people in here that you start out in the beginning of the movie, and the way you start to, like, these people start to grow on you.
Yeah.
Walter Goggins, man.
Yeah.
It's one of those things you go like, okay, Walton Goggins is once again playing a racist. Hillbilly. But yeah, he is one of those characters. The longer it went on, the more there was to him, and I was like, man, I can't get enough of this
But
guy.
he was a charmer racist.
He
I
was.
like, I do declare, I sees me a nigga. And yes, I'm gonna talk about it. This nigga shit has got to stop.
It won't.
Today,
It won't. After
I-
watching this, I'm like, this is a lost fucking
I'm
call.
sorry, man. I'm
This is
sorry.
a
You know what?
lost goddamn
I
call.
know y'all gonna get mad at me saying, well, you guys say it all the time on this show. Yeah, we do. The thing is, I told you.
I think if you counted all the times we've said it on this show for the 2 years it's been going, it won't add up to how many times it was said in
Absolutely
Django
right.
Unchained.
It won't add up as many times
But
as
it said
in
here,
this
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
And before the intermission.
The thing
True.
is, with this movie, it being what it was, I didn't have as big of a problem with it as I did with Django.
I'll give him that.
And with Django, it was too often said. It was said a lot more, almost twice as much, if not 3 times as much. Joking. It was almost like it was a joke. It was like somebody saying it a bunch and ribbing me, the whole time.
Wink, wink,
But here, okay, you got characters who naturally would be ultra prejudiced, angry about the Civil War, and them saying it. I'm like, yeah, okay, I get it with you guys.
Yeah.
It could have been less, but it makes sense here.
I kind of felt the same way. Like with Django, that story, that's about slavery. That's a serious subject about black people, and you throwing this word around as a joke.
Yeah.
It meant, that pissed me off more so with this. This is about 8 motherfuckers who are just
Assholes.
diabolical assholes.
Yeah,
So
and-
every last one of them would say it, and it's like, okay, yeah, they would naturally say
Well,
it. Plus,
good point.
Yeah, and plus
Good point.
Samuel L. Jackson's character, the way he
You call him
takes that.
Samuel?
No, I said Samuel. The way Sam Jackson's character is, the way he takes that, you kind of riding with him. So someone will say it to him, he'll put their gun in their face, like, say some shit like that, So you just kind of, it's all reflected on this character.
It's also, it builds up with him. Like,
Yeah.
like he's somebody who kills people for that.
Exactly.
And every time they're saying it, it's like, he's not reacting. It's like, that's going on your account.
Yeah.
I know, yeah, because he's looking at everybody around him.
Yeah.
He's way too calm.
That's what I'm saying.
Every time somebody says nigga, he pulls out a book and just checks something. Like, what you writing on that nigga? He's like, oh, nothing.
Once you get the 50, you dead.
Yeah. Look, I told you, there's some white dudes I even say can say it. I told you, all white people gonna be saying it for a long time, sometime in the future. I don't care if white people say it, but it's just the way Quentin Tarantino fucking does it. If he didn't have a history of doing this,
Yeah.
True.
I wouldn't say
Right.
this shit.
I
But
feel
because I hear it now when a white person says it, or anybody in his movie, especially this when they say it, they emphasize it. Like when the line I just said, I don't hear it. I ain't saluting no nigga. I ain't saluting no nigger. Because they could be.
And he coached them
Yeah.
on how to do it like
No,
that.
Stop the music and everything.
Yeah, no. Put my R on there. Drag it out a little bit more.
I ain't saluting no.
Yeah.
Do I have to say? Can I say?
I mean.
All right, nigga. Okay,
No, more racist, man. More racist.
Nigger.
No, let me do it for you. Niggers. I told you about that, Quentin. No, man.
If only. That's the
know.
problem. Is Samuel Jackson goes like, yeah, keep on.
This is the big thing. Quentin Tarantino is proud now to have that word
Oh,
because
yeah.
he wants. We said it before. I'm gonna say it again. He wants to be black so bad. He feels so happy that he's been given a pass by you fucking hipsters out there to say this goddamn word.
Yeah.
If it was anybody else, I'd be like, cool. But him, this motherfucker just says it because he can get away with it.
Well, the thing is, man, the history keeps moving really fast, and what is allowable and what's not keeps happening really quickly too. And while it's celebrated now, it could be in 10 years, the social mores could change to where his movies are all outlawed for that.
I get the feeling that he wrote this in the Civil War because he wanted to use that word. Fucking how convenient. I ain't giving him a pass.
It was originally going to be just a mafia crime film, and he's like, I can't squeeze too many niggas in this one.
Yeah.
No, I'm not giving him a pass because he uses it way too much.
Yeah, this motherfucker pisses me off so
But
bad.
you forgave Django, though.
And I'm forgiving it here too, man. I don't even want to. Tarantino gonna be Tarantino.
Oh, yeah.
You do you, man.
Until we get somebody who can do everything he can do.
Until Roger Avery gets out of jail,
right.
he can help this motherfucker.
I know, man. We gotta get Kickstarter going. Free Roger Avery.
No, because people gonna be saying, "Where my Roger Avery T-shirt at?"
We all recognize that it's brilliant. It's a step above most of what we see out there, if not everything. It's almost a crutch because his actual stories, the plot and everything ends up being not that good, and he doesn't even like figure out like how can I work on that and make that better.
Yeah.
Because hey, I got this. Because for him, it's all about making everybody look cool and having cool things for them to say.
But as a fan, I think we all have a responsibility to just not lay blind praise down on our favorite artists out there. We need to like criticize so they can grow. I'm giving this a really high matinee because the first half of the movie is great. If the movie actually started out with those Tarantino-isms and it ended with the brilliance that I saw in the beginning, I'd be like, man, this is amazing. But
that's true.
I had to end with something that I didn't want to see, and I was misled to thinking that we had gotten out of.
And see, that's what got me. Oh, that's what pissed me off most about this movie. It's starting off, I'm like, oh my God, he's back. Like, I see signs of life here. And then he goes back to that same old Inglourious Basterds, Django type shit.
And it's almost like Inglourious Basterds in the sense that
that's what I thought of more so than anything.
Where it's like, we have one thing that we're really enjoying here, and then we move away from it for him to go and do his fucking, crazy shit.
Exactly.
What would you give it?
I give it a low matinee.
You said a high matinee, you said a low matinee. I guess I just give it a matinee, smooth it out. But it is one of those where the third act, and it's like, no, damn man, it was there, and you blew it.
Yeah, I still want to see it in 70 millimeter. It is a gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
It's a gorgeous movie. Those landscapes that he has out there.
Shit, just them in the cabin or whatever is beautiful.
Oh, that's another thing. Just fucking stop trying to repeat time. With all the overture at the beginning of the Morricone score that he has here. The guy who did all the spaghetti westerns. It's a great score.
It is a fantastic score. I loved it.
But I don't need to sit through 10 minutes of it before I see the movie.
I give you that shit. That bugged the fuck out of me. I'm like, is this shit gonna start at any point? I don't need to zoom in on a fucking cross for 15 minutes.
It's sound. I don't need 7 millimeter for that shit right there.
I don't.
And another thing,
you guys are right, but I enjoyed the score so much that I didn't mind.
In the intermission, the movie's long enough.
Yeah,
just let that motherfucker run. You live today, Quentin Tarantino. Don't be that motherfucker.
Okay, so here's the debate: what's better, the 3-hour movie with the intermission, or going the Kill Bill route where it's split into 2 movies?
I'd rather you split that shit into 2 movies. I actually do neither. But if you have to do it, I'd rather.
No, I'd rather sit.
I'd rather sit for one sitting.
Okay.
I'd rather sit down for 3 hours and no intermission or anything. Just let that shit run. Joe fault. You drink too much water before you got in. But